Okay, so now let us talk about we're gonna talk about implementing Crashlytics. Let's do this. So um Crashlytics is an aspect of Firebase. It's a third-party framework, and what it does is it helps to keep track of crashes in real time. So when your app is deployed and people are using it and something happens where a crash occurs, some kind of functionality goes down, you can check your console and see what it is and start debugging. And as a result, you'll be able to, whenever you do updates to your software, you can address many of these bugs, and that's what a lot of professional and enterprise level apps do out here in the real world. When you open up your iPhone and sometimes you have all these updates, that's what those are for, to address bugs and crashes and things that happened, after the last release, because Crashlytics or whatever analytics software or third-party framework alerted the developers to a problem. Whatever was used to alert them to a problem, they addressed the problem and release the patch in the new in the new update. So right here, I'm just kind of like an overview of how it's done. What you're going to do is you have your Xcode project. You're going to add a pod file to in the directory where your project is. You will go to terminal and you open up your pod file and you add these lines: Firebase Crashlytics, and I also say Firebase Analytics. And that's for getting analytics information. We're not going to go in depth with that, but I just added it in there just for illustrative purposes. And as a result, once you run this, and you'll do what's called a pod install, and I'll show you how to do that. It creates an XC workspace. You will no longer use the original Xcode project file, and you will use the XC workspace. The XC workspace has all the code from the XC project. On top of that, all of the third-party frameworks you downloaded using the pod file, and then combines that functionality in one file. This executable has Crashlytics in it, and you can go to your console and keep track of bugs or crashes that happen to your app when other people use it. So yeah, so I'm about to go ahead and move on to the next, and we'll get working on Crashlytics. On to the next.